Back with some more of fixing up this old Jeep I got for $2 grand. Today I'll show you how I brought the Jeep back to life by turning it from a turd into a polished turd. Cover everything in the order that I did it, starting out with spray painting the grille, bumper, and trim of the Jeep. Prep the Jeep by giving it a good wash, then sanding a bit off the grille and bumper so that it's smooth to the touch. Next I masked off the Jeep, which honestly takes such a long time, but it is a necessary step. Now just spraying a few coats on the Jeep. The finished result. It definitely looks better than before, but you can see it doesn't look perfectly even reflecting in the light, and eventually it ended up fading a bit to the point where I took your advice and used truck bed liner when I repainted the trim again, but we'll get there later in the video. I'll show you how I did a bit of body work and repainted the hood and top of the fenders. It's where most of the damage was. Started off sanding down some areas that needed body filler, and ironically I uncovered some old body filler, leading me to think this hood was already repainted once before. Anyway, I slapped on some Bondo body filler, waited for it to dry, and sanded it down to be mostly even. Bodywork. It's not perfect by any means, but it's much better than before. Alright, we are ready for paint. Primed, sanded with 600 and 800 grit, masked everything off. Decided not to record that because I thought it was going to be quick, but ended up taking forever to mask everything, because it always does. Time to paint the hood now. I used 3 cans of color match spray paint for 4 coats. I definitely should have bought a 4th can though, because you'll notice some areas that did not have as much coverage. I also should have watched these videos after each coat so I can see areas that I missed better. I'm wiping off all the paint that dried in the air while spraying and fell onto the Jeep. I didn't even realize that I would have to do this until I ran my fingers over the dried 4th coat and a lot of chalky red residue came up. Now moving on to clear coat. I used 2K clear coat that I got on Amazon, and I did 3 coats of it, going a bit heavier on the last coat. I also spray painted these rear window vents glossy black at the same time, I just didn't bother recording it. Finished result isn't looking too bad, especially in direct sunlight showing every imperfection. If I ever plan on painting the hood of a car again, I'll definitely be removing the hood and painting it standing upright. This will help eliminate big paint droplets splattering from the nozzle due to cans being held on their side. You can't really even hold the cans at a 45-degree angle without getting some paint droplets too. All in all, I think it definitely looks better than before, and from 10 feet away you can't really see any imperfections at all. Jeep was masked off, I still somehow had a paint line under where the tape was. I think it might have been from the black primer. Anyway, I claybarred it for what seemed like hours, but eventually I did get almost all the primer off. And then I figured I might as well just claybar the rest of the Jeep, so that's what I did. Alright, here's how we're looking after a claybar around the whole thing. You can see, there's still some scratches all over. Claybar's not really supposed to get those out, to my knowledge, but maybe the polish will get a little bit of it. Maybe a bit more of a deeper shine in some of these areas too. And you can see like around the trunk, there's like no reflection. There's like a little bit where the Jeep logo used to be. A little bit on the bottom, but not very reflective. And the sides, a little bit reflective. And there's the hood. Polished the entire red section of the Jeep with Meguiar's Mirror Glaze Ultra Finishing Polish. Then waxed the whole Jeep with Meguiar's as well. Alright, just polished and waxed. We're looking pretty reflective here. Well, although my taillights were working fine, that one's fine. This one fell off while I was moving. I tried to tape it, and tape didn't hold till I got home, so got some new ones, LED ones. These new taillights were supposed to be plug and play, but unfortunately they were not. This whole first clip is just me figuring out if I was going to return the taillights or full send cutting and splicing random wires together. Obviously we sent it, and it actually wasn't too hard to figure out which wires should go where, even though it was a bit stressful cutting off the connectors of brand new taillights. After figuring out where the wires go, I then crimped my connectors as hard as I could and wrapped it in tons of electrical tape. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh. Very satisfying. Well, this was much less satisfying than the other one. There we go. The headlights were much more straightforward to swap out, and they were plug and play. The manufacturer even has instructions and a video showing exactly how to swap the headlights out, unlike my taillights that came with nothing at all. So for these headlights, they don't go all the way to the back, but my stock ones didn't fully meet up with this anyway. But the thing is, they would just wobble around in here because they're only held in by these little tiny clips right here with like a little ball that goes into a clip. There's like 3 of them or maybe 2, but what I did was I drilled a little mini hole with a drill bit. It was a 1/16 size. And then I put the screw that went in the old lights in here. And before I did that, I put some Gorilla Glue epoxy all around it to kind of solidify it up a bit. And now it's it's much less like wiggly. It's still going to, but I mean, it's a little bit less so than before. These lights just, they really don't seem very solid in there. I did the same thing on this side. It's a little bit more solid. But you can also see here, there's like a big gap in the sealant. It's just like a little bit of sealant here, and then like none here, a little bit around the screw. Guarantee this is gonna get water in it. Like the first time that it rains, I haven't had these on in rain yet, so I guess we'll see. Swapping out my two front door speakers now. Even though the speakers I bought say they should fit perfect, I later found that I would need to drill holes for them to fit since they did not line up with the stock holes. I actually didn't have a power drill yet, so I looked on Facebook Marketplace and copped this drill and circular saw for only 20 bucks. Swapping the speakers out was really not too bad at all. The hardest part was just getting the door panels back on, especially the driver door panel because it's a bit busted and it actually hasn't been on the door since I've owned the Jeep. Alright, so a buddy of mine and I put those on last night. We've got a switch there that I'm going to put into that hole. Got it going through the firewall down there. Got this connector here for this wire. Just gonna tuck all this under here, and then this is just a relay that I'm gonna put probably like underneath this. Positive and negative just go to there. Then we got the wire running up here inside this all the way to there where it goes up. And then on top we wired it so that it's just one wire here going into all of these. So that wire there, this one here, and that one here all split into one, and this just goes down all the way. So one switch turns on all three of these. Back doing my favorite thing now, masking off the Jeep again. Just I was looking up close, you could see a lot of it seems to be wearing off. I believe all the whitish stuff that we're seeing is just the gray fading back through. So I didn't put enough coats on. So it doesn't look great. I noticed a lot of people suggesting Raptor liner, but the point of this Jeep project is to stay on a budget and do everything as cheap as possible. I decided to go with Rust-Oleum truck bed coating and hand paint it on because it was the cheapest option at around $20 all in. I did 4 coats, waiting about 2 hours between them. Hand painting definitely takes a bit longer than spraying it, and you can risk seeing your brush lines, but that's easily avoided by doing long, even strokes. So the bed liner paint job actually looked pretty good, but in some areas, like right here, when I was peeling off the tape, you could see like right here and here, the black spray paint showing through, like the bed liner peeled with this, even though I was using a knife as I was peeling it, just couldn't help it. So I remashed off a couple areas like that where it's shining through, and it's just a little bit like right here, not too bad there. Right here, you can see there, pretty good all around the back. A little bit right here came off, and I pretty much just, if I saw any of it coming off, I kind of just went like this until it wouldn't come off anymore. That's looking all right. Not too bad in here. You can just see like right up to it. And then lastly, right here, you just see some in there. And all I'm gonna do is try and use this paintbrush to paint some bed liner on there
and not touch the line there. I'm gonna try and just like go like that and go like right up to it, but not touch it, so it won't peel off. Okay, hey. I think my problem last time was that my doll ass knife, kitchen knife that I was using, oh yeah. Oh yeah, razor's the move. I'm just real big dumb, not using this before.
Here's how it looks after 4 coats touching up the areas that needed it, and I think it looks damn near perfect. You can't really see any brush lines, it's got a nice glossy shine to it, and it's much more durable than the spray paint I had on there before. Now moving on to tinting the windows. I started off with the most important step of prepping the windows by peeling off the old tint and cleaning the inside of the windows with soap and a razor. Okay, here is this window with all the tint removed. These scratches actually, it's not residue, it's actually scratches on this side of the glass. You can feel them with your finger. I don't really think that you can get rid of those, but on the inside, you can see them, but smooth as butter. Don't feel anything. So, not looking too bad on this side. Took forever to take everything off. The windows thoroughly cleaned, I'm installing the pre-cut tint from this kit I got on Amazon for $50 with 35% on the front windows and 5% on the rest. I've never tinted windows before, but I watched a few YouTube videos, so I figured I might as well give it a shot. Basically just sprayed soapy water on the windows and the tint and pushed to the edges with a little credit card size squeegee that I already had. Alright, here's how we're looking after the tint job. Not too terrible. I mean, you can see obviously I got some parts I gotta heat up, but I'm waiting until tomorrow when this is all dry because there's still like soapy water behind it. But not too bad on this side. And then you look at the back and yeah, not great. But I'm just gonna heat these all up with the gun. It'll take forever, but like this window's perfect right here. Not a single blemish on it. It's professionally done right there. These ones not too bad. Not too terrible here either. Trying to fix those areas of tint that weren't sticking to the window. I just heated the area with my girlfriend's hairdryer and squeegeed until it eventually stuck.
broken and nights filled with nightmares. I feel lonely. Throw it tight, then I
Painted the grille with a few coats of glossy black spray paint too. The bumper still looks great, so it didn't need any more yet. Pulsing the Jeep one more time. Lastly here, I just used some upholstery cleaner to get out some of the stains that were on the floor and seats. I plan on doing a deeper clean to the Jeep soon, but this will do for now. Thanks for watching. Leave me a comment for the algorithm even if it's gibberish, and subscribe for more. We've got new Stave merch if you want a shirt, sticker, or something else, and I've also got a discount code for Chris Bumstead's brand Raw Nutrition. They have clothes and great supplements like protein powder, pre-workout, protein cookies, and more.